Hello everyone and welcome back to Ricardo Milton Finance YouTube channel. Let me ask you something. Are you properly spending your money on groceries and supermarket? In this video we will find it out. And we will also answer the question, do poor pay more? Stay tuned and let's find out. Now before we go off, let's look at some numbers. Yes, by now you should already know my mind is a lot about numbers. I know exactly how much I spend on groceries as a family since ever, but let's look at the numbers on average. In the European Union, household expenditure is about 12.1% on food and non-alcoholic beverages, and that does not include the non-food items you buy at the supermarket. In the US, that number seems to be around 10%, so it's practically the same as in Europe. Now, considering in the euro area, each household has an annual average income of 19,222 euros, the 12.1% results in an average of 2,295 euros per year per household spent on food and non-alcoholic beverages. In the USA, that number is about $3,935 when considering just money spent on food at home, not restaurants, which by the way is far more than in Europe. Something like 50%, who knows why. Anyway, based on these numbers, imagine you could cut your supermarket bill by 5%. Then that would become 115 euros or 196 US dollars. But if that number becomes 20%, then the annual savings would become 459 euros or $788. If you have seen my video about making homemade yogurts, then you know in the long run these numbers can become huge amounts of money. Long story short, if you save this amount and you invest it in an index fund or investment portfolio, in the long run, with an average of say 6% return, these grocery savings can become, say in 30 years, as much as almost 38,500 euros or US dollars, almost $58,000. Isn't that a beautiful number? Then come on, smash the like button and hit the subscribe button. Yes, that like button must turn blue and that subscribe button must turn gray. Remember, it's not just about saving and investing. You can use these savings for several other things, such as to pay off some existing debt. And how do you reach those savings, whether it's 5%, 10%, 20% or even more? It really depends on the type of products that you buy, because savings can go from 5%, 10%, 50% or even 80%. I strongly believe the big majority of you will save at least 20% when you bulk buy and follow the 12 tips I'm sharing with you later in this video. The start of all this will actually depend on how much money you have saved or not. If you don't have any savings and you're not rich, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will pay more than the rich. It is, however, a fact that normally poor people pay more for toilet paper and just about everything else. Yes, this is just a funny example. You see, researchers suggest that the poor pay more at the store. There's actually a very recent paper published by Hussain Malik in April 2020 discussing in depth the income differences in bulk buying. And it's quite easy to understand why. Imagine you go to the supermarket and you've only got 30 euros or $30 to spend. You head to the toilet paper aisle and you find a really nice deal, super cheap, but you can't bring more than one package because you need the rest of the money for food and other essentials. You head home with just the necessary. Now imagine a couple days later you run out of toilet paper. You're not exactly able to wait around for the next sale. So you go back to the supermarket and you buy what's on the shelves, even if it's more expensive than you would like. Unfortunately, this is a common and surprisingly costly cycle poor people get trapped in. Funny or not, I do have seen some people running to the supermarket to buy some diapers or something for their babies that suddenly has run out of stock. And you guessed it, they bought it at whatever price was tagged. The poor pay more happens for a number of reasons. Number one, reduced liquidity. The liquidity of poorer households decreases towards the end of the month, so they're always limited on their purchases and items on sale. Number two, storage. Eventually poorer households have less space to store. And number three, budget constraints. Having to keep a certain amount of money for expenses that you can't miss the payment, like electricity, gas, water, and so on. And there are other reasons that lead to bad purchases whether you're rich or whether you're poor. Savings awareness, cognitive cost, store preferences. Now let's explore these three. So savings awareness. Make sure to save every time you spend your money. And I really mean every time you spend money, make sure to save. Look at it this way. If every time you spend money, and I mean every single time, you set yourself the challenge to spend less for that same thing you're spending money on, you will actually be putting your brain, creativity, and efforts to reduce that amount. Like when you go to the cinema and along with the ticket you buy a soft drink or a bottle of water. Why not buy it next doors or downstairs in another coffee or supermarket for a fraction of the cost? It makes absolutely no sense to throw away that money that you can so easily save. And the list goes on. The cognitive cost is quite a tricky one. Every time you see something in the supermarket with, say, 50% discount, your brain will automatically be triggered to think that's a really nice deal. And you will jump the step of comparing different products and different brands and different prices, just because that specific one is on sale. Well, I have been several times to the supermarket and seen products that are 50% off, but I know in the past they have been 60% off or more. So the cognitive cost actually leads you to pay more than you could possibly pay for. Most times I look at the discounted price as the regular price, as the normal price things should be at, so that I don't lose focus and get enthusiastic about it. I just keep suspecting about the prices and the discounts. Check this example. This pasta has 25% discount, but in the past I have bought it at 50% off. Or this example of rice price with 23% discount to the current price of 0.99 euro cent. But in the past I have bought at 0.84 euro cent, which is a further 15% off than the currently announced 23% discount. Now let's talk about the third, store preferences. I know most of us have, for a different number of reasons, a preferred store to buy at. But even though I have to agree this one may be difficult to go over, sometimes I do force myself to go to another store and buy just a few products. And during that visit I take the opportunity to compare prices at that store of the products that I normally buy in my preferred store. Sometimes those products are actually cheaper, so I readjust where I'm going to buy those items in the future, leading me to adjust my purchases and thus buy for even less. I also want to mention those people that are not poor, that are actually rich and have enough money in their bank account, but they don't spend their money properly. Yes, I'm talking to you. If you're not poor, you're still very likely to be wasting your money. You see, when somebody has just enough not to worry about small details like groceries prices, they just buy goods as they need, and they actually become some sort of an example of the opportunity cost. And what is the opportunity cost? The opportunity cost represents the potential benefit one loses out when choosing one alternative over another. And even though the poor may not start with this option and need to build up their savings, there are plenty of people that are not poor, and even rich, that just keep on doing the same mistake over and over and not realizing the amount of savings they are missing out. Now that we had a look why poor pay more, and rich as well for other reasons, I bring you the good news. It doesn't always have to be like that, and I'll show you how. First, you need to find out how much you're spending every month on groceries and just about everything you buy on the supermarket. Second, build up your savings to about 3 times that amount. And I say 3 times for no specific reason. It may be the case that 1 or 2 times is perfectly enough. Whether that takes 1 month or 1 year to reach, it doesn't matter. The purpose is that you know exactly how long you're going to take to reach that saving, and make sure you keep your strategy until you reach your goal. So if you spend, say, 200 euros or dollars per month and you can save 40, then it will take you 15 months to reach those savings of 3 times your monthly spending. By the time you reach your savings goal, you will be ready to become as good buyer as the rich. It doesn't matter anymore if you're rich or if you're poor. You will buy like the rich and become part of the population that pays less for their groceries and just about everything else at the supermarket. Once you're ready to start buying bulk, pay attention to the following 12 tips to make the right choices in this great way of buying cheaper than everyone else. Yes, now I think I deserve the like button turning blue and the subscribe button turning gray. Down below. Rule number 1. Always compare the unit prices. Bigger or sale doesn't mean it's cheaper. Like this package of cheese, which is more than 3% more expensive when you buy the large package. €8.23 per kilo versus €7.98 per kilo for the smaller package. Number 2, never bulk buy an item you haven't bought before. You don't want to get stuck with something you won't like. Number 3, stack coupons and sales when bulk buying. This will quickly bring you unbeatable prices. Number 4, ensure you have adequate storage, especially for those items that need to go into the fridge and the freezer. Number 5, buy more of the items you always need, like milk, soap, pastas, drinks, rice, cereals, toothpaste, and so on. Number 6, pay attention to the expiry dates, so stick preferably to the non-perishables. Number 7, be reasonable at what you need, so that you don't fall into the trap of buying things you don't actually need. Number 8, buy at least for the next 3 to 6 months, even though sometimes I buy for longer, especially if the price is an all-time lowest. Number 9, subscribe to the supermarket newsletters. They will allow you to analyze the prices from home, so that if some good deal is on that week, you can plan in advance if you want to buy it or not. It only takes 1 minute to go through the document in your computer at home, and it will save you a lot of time in the store. Number 10, whenever you pick from your stock the second last or third last, and that's the moment to write down, to remember to buy as soon as there's a new promotion or sale. So you always have 2 or 3 left when you know it's time to buy. Number 11, compare the supermarket prices to online stores' prices. This works better for the products you buy until the end of times. Like toothpaste, that in the supermarket with 25% discount costs €2.73 a piece with 125 milliliters. Well, I bought exactly the same thing online for 99 cents. That's not 25% discount, but almost 73% discount. So I bought 12 units and cashed in €20.88 savings just on toothpaste. Number 12, this is very important. Build a price book. I know this picture reminds you of the old times and too much work, but I guarantee you there is a much easier way to do it. Anyway, the price book helps you tracking the lowest historical prices of the products you normally buy. With the price book, you will always know when the sale is a good deal or not and when to stock up or not. Sales on groceries and household items, there are best times of the year to buy specific groceries and many other items, so with the price book you will know when to jump into a sale or wait until the price drops even more. By having a price book, you will never fall into a fake sale again. Buying bulk will not just save you money, it will save you as well a lot of headaches. Remember those times you just had to pick up the cart to go and buy 1 or 2 things that suddenly you run out. It will save you a lot of time. It will save you petrol by doing less trips to the supermarket. And it keeps your mind free. You don't have to be worried about every week having to go to the supermarket to buy this thing or that thing that you have run out. As you can see, I keep a lot of everything in stock. I have rice for a few months. I have pasta for several months, I have milk as well, I have diapers, soap, dishwash liquid, etc, etc, etc. Before we go off, I just want to add that you don't need to push yourself to reach all this by tomorrow. This is a continuous learning process. You just have to start to be aware of it, and feel free to come back to this video, review all the tips, review all the steps, so that you can reach your savings and start buying bulk. Because bulk buying is definitely the cheapest way to buy and nobody can argue about it. If this is too challenging, try breaking it into small steps. You don't have to reach this by the end of this week or by the end of next month. You can look at it as a target to start working on it step by step and gradually build your savings so that you become ready to bulk buy. So keep a realistic to-do list, so that you keep on doing something towards the goal. It doesn't matter if it's a small step or a big step, just keep on doing something to follow the 12 tips I have given you and to reach the savings you need to be able to buy bulk. Just keep on doing a little bit over time. Never stop, just set yourself a goal to do something this week, whether it's small or big, just do something so that you know you are reaching your goal closer every week. Understand that this whole saving process of bulk buying only depends on you, nobody else. You just have to start and gradually implement those 12 tips. The same way you work to make money, the same way you have to work to save money. Unless you apply some time on it, it's never going to happen. Expect as well to have your car packed quite often, because when you bulk buy, your car will get packed. And when you go to the supermarket, sometimes people will be staring at you with your shopping cart really full of 2 or 3 things and many quantities of each. It doesn't matter, it's all for the sake of savings. And I'm not going to lie to you, sometimes I do have to go to the supermarket and buy something that I ran out of stock and the price is not good, but I just have to buy it. But one thing I know that price I'm buying at that moment, it's not the best price, so I'm just buying 1 or 2 items exactly what I need for that day or for that week. And I will wait for the next sale, for the best opportunity to bulk buy and don't lose money anymore. So don't look at it as you always have to be perfect. There will be times in which you cannot really save because you just can't. But the most important is that you know you're not saving and you just buy the essential quantity. Just the fact that you know that the price you're buying at is an all-time low or it's high, it's such a powerful tool that will enable you to understand how much you can save, and it will always help you to make the right choices. That piece of information will infinitely contribute for you to always spend your money properly. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to comment down below and check out my other videos as well. Remember to subscribe and hit the like button, and anything you want to share with me, anything you didn't like or anything you want to add, just comment down below and I will be answering and reading all the comments. If I have enough likes, if I have enough subscribes, if I have enough visualizations, I will make a video about how easily you can build a price book that will completely change the way you track prices and always buy cheap. So make sure to ask your friends, your family, people at work, everybody you know, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Just ask everyone to visit this channel, watch my videos, and help me out with YouTube algorithm to grow the channel. And I'll show you how to build an easy price book. Thank you so much, and until the next video.